Hi, this is Lauren from LSP Actions, and I'm going to be walking you through using the Icekist Photoshop Action Suite. I'm using Photoshop Creative Cloud. You can also use this in CS6. So here is the action palette. I've already loaded these actions in, and once they're in, they will stay in. Every time you upload Photoshop, you can see the actions. If you can't find your action palette, come up here to Window and hit Actions, or Alt F9. I'm going to click on these little lines at the top and go to button mode so we can see the actions in one-click workflow order. This makes them much more easy to use. So in the Icekist Winter set, you will find 45 Photoshop actions, split into sections as to how you can use them. You will also see the Add Snow video section. This is new for 2019. You will also get 10 video overlays so you can make moving snow images, which is really exciting. So I'm going to be changing this autumn image into a winter image. I would advise using images, photographs that are going to convert nicely to winter. Think hats, coats, scarves, anything like that. If you've got your subject in a little dress or shorts, then it's not likely to translate very well into a realistic, believable winter image. So I'm going to start here, add winter to scene. I'm going to go for the blurred, add white winter paint. And with a white brush selected, on 100% opacity, 25% flow, I'm just going to start painting this over the background. This background is blurred. If it was a sharper background, I would use the sharp Add White Winter action, and you can see that being used in other videos. I'm going to grab a black brush, make it a little smaller, and I'm just going to paint this effect off the skin. Now you don't have to be too fussy about the edges, and I'll show you why in a second. We don't want the white completely engulfing our subject here, because now I'm going to play the winter tones paint. And I'm just going to use this around any edges where there's any little bits of green showing, making sure I've got a white brush selected. Just here, and this will help me just tidy up those edges, adding any winter tones wherever's needed, for example here. I'm going to take that off the hat there. Okay, so that is before and after. And now I'm going to use the winter skin toner here on the winter retouch brushes. Just a little bit again with a white brush on 25% flow, and this will just add some kind of a warm purple tone to the skin, which goes in turn with a kind of a white background you'd expect. I'm going to play the winter the skin retouch workflow here. This is a multi-layer base, so it sets up lots of layers that you can work on. All you need to do is open the group here and you can see them all. So I'm going to select some soft skin. Subject already has beautifully soft skin, so I don't need a lot of that. I'm just going to soften some of these areas up a little bit. Sharpen these details. I may use that here on the face. Take down reds. I'm going to do that a little bit on this hand, and yellows a touch here. Rosy cheeks, she doesn't really need this, but I'm going to pop a little bit anyway. A little bit of rosy nose. Brighten up, make my brush a little bit bigger just to lift this face a bit, because we will have brightness bouncing off the snow if the snow was really there. Okay, so that is before and after so far. I'm going to play the eye retouch workflow, and I'm going to zoom into the eyes here and just brighten them up a little bit. So I'm just clicking on the magnifying glass, zooming in, back onto the paintbrush. I'm hitting this bracket key to make the paintbrush a little bit smaller. So let's open up this eye retouch group here. A little bit more colour to the iris. Brighten those eyes up a little. And let's sharpen these eyelashes. Really make these eyes pop. Close that group down so we can see before and after so far. I may add this misty fog overlay here. And this does exactly what it says on the tin. Let's do all the actions. So my actions are running a little bit slow because I've got the video recording software going. You can change the opacity here. And you can also paint on or off if needed. So how about adding snow? Now you can add snow video, which is included. Please watch the other video tutorials to see how to do that properly. For this one I'm just going to add still snow. So I'm going to click here and perhaps add some medium snow. You don't need to have any overlays open for this. You don't need to have any special brushes. This is created purely in Photoshop using the actions. So that one is just playing out. I'm going to grab a brush, big brush, set to white, and add some of this snow in. If you don't like the snow, you can simply get rid of it. Again, all these actions are completely non-destructive until you choose to save a version. How about fine snow instead? Let's try that one. So I'm just going to paint that off the face and let it show everywhere else. And again with the medium snow. And I'm going to come up here to the winter scene and perhaps add blue winter wash, and you can change the opacity so you don't want it massively blue depending on your image, or you can add amethyst ice, dark cobalt, rose, depending on your image. So I like that one. There we are, before and after so far. On the skin retouch, I think I'm going to come here to the warm layer. All the layers are still here. You can open them up and use them as you need to. Take the opacity of that one down just a weeny bit. But it's obviously completely up to you how you edit. Everything is very flexible. A little bit of contrast and bring the opacity right down because it doesn't need too much. And again, you can turn off individual layers and mix and match as you are editing until you're happy. And that's the LSP Ice Kiss Winter Collection for Photoshop. There are 45 Photoshop actions included in this one. Included the added snow video layers, where you get 10 videos, and please watch my other tutorials to see how to use those. This is available at www.lsp-actions.com.